Alright, figured I'd give you guys a quick update. Missing one. So, that one's still brewing a little bit. That's the berry blend. I pulled a blueberry out of there. They're still running right at 88 to 90 degrees, 88.3 right now. So, there's the blueberry. Now, it's been running and degassing for, I took another video, but it ended up being like 20 minutes long, so I was going to do a quick one here. Now you can see, but man, that stuff is coming out of there so fast to begin with. It would come up, run through that hose, and come up, even though I've got that pinched off a little bit. And I didn't want to get in my vacuum pump. So I ended up devising a couple different ways. There's a paper clip sticking down in there. It lets just enough air going down in for the air coming out to give me a medium flow. It's been, it was coming out a whole like 10 times faster than that. Enough to where I kept a big layer of foam right in here, but it wasn't going up. Well, anyway, I normally use a Harbor Freight Venturi type vacuum on a end of an air hose, but I ain't doing it outside. Freaking 19 degrees out there, and I'm not going to run an air hose in the house, so I went out to my shop and got the vacuum pump. But that's that couple, 3 or 4 more hours pulling that vacuum, and we'll have all that carbon dioxide, those little miniature sized carbon dioxide in there, reducing the environment in there and making those bubbles expand. And then they're floating to the top, they're popping, and that's going to get all the little dead yeast and all the little particles and stuff. That'll put them in suspension so they'll float, or they'll be able to sink to the bottom. Then I'm going to treat it with potassium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate. That'll basically sterilize the yeast and create an environment that they can't live in, so they can't reproduce, and so that'll eventually get rid of them. And I'll leave that for about 10 or 12 hours. I'm cooking some hamburgers. Getting late. Freaking 10 to 5 in the morning. Been working. Anyway, those are, look, watch it. There it goes. There goes that one. I just missed that in this bubble when I was swinging the camp. There it goes. So that's the 2 white wines. They were in that bucket right there, but it didn't have a good seal on it, and went down because of this frickin' Biden economics crap. Couldn't get my normal recipe, which is Welch's group when I do this. Welch's grape white Concord. I ended up buying juice that was already made. They added a bunch of sugar to it, so I went overboard on the sugar, and I had it like 22%, or the 22 potential alcohol content was 22%. That'd be like 40 proof alcohol, 40 proof wine, which is like, you know, you only get that homemade. But 20 is about max. Anyway, ended up with what you call a stuck ferment, and I found 2, which wasn't enough to begin with, but I found 2 more grape, and I had done a 1 gallon recipe, so I put that white grape in there and didn't add any more sugar, repitched the yeast, and now we're off and running again. So that's give you an update. So I'm at 2 gallons of white wine, and you see what it looks like now, huh? Well, it's actually going to look like a white wine when I get through with it. Kind of hard to believe, but anyway. But this one here, and you see what it looks like color-wise, right? I mean, nothing clear about that, right? But you're going to get to see what that looks like later. So, but that is how you save 30, 60, 90, or 120 days on your secondary ferment. I don't know anybody else in the world that does this. I'm the only one. And if you suggest doing this to a wine connoisseurs forum, man, they call you all kind of stupid ass names. Oh, you're not making wine, you're making hooch and all that shit. But I tell you what, I put my wine up against any wine, anywhere. Might have to go to Italy or France to find a wine better than mine. But, because they make good wine. But shit, I went on the wine tour up in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and then I went to the Biltmore and tasted all their wines. I didn't find that one wine anywhere close to mine. Let me turn this down just a little bit. There we go. And but anyway, so now that's going, and I broke my damn triple scale accidentally. Had it over there in the dish rack and was moving some shit around, wasn't paying attention. Busted it. That's alright, I got another one ordered on Amazon. And this graduated cylinder, I got one that's got markings on it with milliliters and all, because we're doing a lot of metric shit. There's all my baking stuff. Now I put the sea salt in there because it had a little bitty hole in the container and I couldn't reach my measuring spoon. Baking soda, and got cornstarch, which I hadn't, gelatin, I can't remember what I got that for. Anyway, got all my little scales, more scales, and all this measuring crap, and weigh in, but tomorrow that'll be finished. All the bubbles will be out of it. I'll have all the carbon dioxide, all the bubbles busted, and all the dead yeast. Well, actually, it's still yeast in there, but they're really having a tough time right now. And all the little particles, yeast, and everything else floating around in there is not going to have any bubbles to attach to. Then I will use that potassium sulfite, metabisulfite, mix that up, throw that in there, leave it in there about 6, 8, 10 hours. That'll take care of the yeast so they won't start creating more in there. Then I'll mix up some bentonite clay, and that's what this is. I gotta wash this bottle, but that's real grainy, so I'll have to put that in the mortar and pestle and smush that up, and then I'll throw it in a pot and slow cook it for, I'll take some of the wine, I'll just do it with water. Put a little bit of water in it. I'm talking that much in the bottom of a pot, you know. And then put me about, I think 2 tablespoons is what I use for that whole thing. And then once that's completely saturated, you know, slurry, then I'll take that and put it in there. And I have this big elongated spoon here. And, whoop, shit. I got a big long spoon there. And I take it in there and you just swirl it around the neck like that. You can stir the piss out of that. Anyway, get that bentonite clay stirred up in there real good. And I've had them completely clear in one night, but chances are I might have to do it twice. It depends. When you clear the secondary like I'm doing, it works really fucking good. I mean, really good. So anyway, let me get back to what I'm doing here. I just throw y'all a quick update. So we got 6, 6, 12, and 13, 14 gallons of wine. Then the fruit that came out of that brew, I threw in the freezer. This is it right here. And oops, make sure that stays flat so I don't have trouble getting it so much out of there. But anyway, that's some fresh blackberries. But that is a bag with the blackberries still in it. And that is kefir grains right there in case I ever run out or I kill my grains. I got 2 quarts of milk kefir running right there. And put them on tonight. That's going to be biscuit material instead of buttermilk. I think it'll work better, especially right now. Oh yeah, I forgot something else I did tonight. Down in there, holy shit, this stuff's rising, ain't it? That is a hybrid biscuit. It's got yeast in it. I'm gonna make some damn fluffy biscuits one way or the other, you know. And what else we got in there? Nothing. There's buttermilk, leftover salad. Anyway, got plenty of shit. And damn, that boy looks like he likes to eat, don't he? Anyway, there's a kitchen tour. I did all that shit this evening after I come back from Mom's. Donna and I went over and grabbed a bite to eat with Mom. So, got to clear out the dishes, clean up everything now. But tomorrow, that'd be one step closer to being a finished wine. Cheers.